what's really interesting, all the talk surrounding President Trump's suggestion, which was let's move them all out of Gaza, have the U.S. take over Gaza, and rebuild it.
Go over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it. Create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Now, in the first few days following that was quite a bit of discussion about how this was probably just a negotiation tactic.
Maybe the alternative that will be put forward by the Arab states is, okay, we don't want this, so now we're going to go in and we'll volunteer to clean it up, in which case President Trump gets a win.
This probably wasn't any real suggestion. And now that could be a good negotiation tactic. But yesterday or this morning, an interview on Fox News between Bibi and Mark Levin, Bibi gave a lot more detail on what this suggestion might actually look like.
All that President Trump is saying, I want to open the gate and give them an option to relocate temporarily while we rebuild the place physically and while we also rebuild it in terms of de-radicalization. You want to come back, you have to disavow terrorism, but you can't come back. Get the Arab countries, the Gulf countries, and others to finance the reconstruction. They always say that they care about Gaza. Okay, here's a chance to prove it. I think this is a novel approach and the correct approach. It's got details that have to be sorted out, but two things that President Trump has been blamed for are totally false. He never said he wants American troops to do the job. Guess what? We'll do the job, Hamas attacked us, we'll take care of them. We'll finish them all. And the second thing, he didn't say that American taxpayers' money is going to do the job. He said he'd get independent financing for it, and I'm sure he will.
In Bibi's kind of outline for this plan, there would be no U.S. troops in Gaza. Rather, there would be an optional exit for civilians from Gaza. They could either opt in and opt out, followed by Israel would fight the remaining factions of Hamas in Gaza. Then there would be a reconstruction funded by the Arab states, followed by civilians who would like to come back to Gaza, coming back, those who are unaffiliated with terror. Now, it gives a little more realistic kind of view of what this might look like. It's still quite unique, but I thought it would be interesting to just for 1 minute look at the actual map of Gaza and talk about what's going on there to see how this might actually be slightly more realistic option than the way it's being portrayed. From Bet Lahia to about here, Az-Zahara, is mostly uninhabitable and destroyed, other than most of Gaza City. So now most of Gaza City, so on either side of Gaza City, right? So Bet Lahia, Jabalia, all that is largely destroyed. Everything south of Gaza City is largely destroyed, but large parts of Gaza City are intact and can inhabit an estimated nearly 1 million civilians. Everything south of Gaza City, all the way down to about here, is also mostly destroyed, including Deir al-Balah. Parts of Barij are totally untouched. And then if we keep moving down south to Khan Yunis, that is also mostly destroyed, Khan Yunis, but there are many parts around here, Mawasi and further south, that still have quite a bit of standing building. And that's what Gaza looks like. Now, so if we were to talk about an optional exit for civilians from Gaza, that would mean 1.8 or 2.2 or whatever the estimations are about how many civilians in Gaza need to leave. It would mostly be an exit of those civilians whose homes have been destroyed and don't want to be there anymore, mostly in North Gaza. So I think this clarification from Bibi, in my view as a regular civilian, is actually very interesting. And if it has U.S. support and Trump is somehow able to get the Arab nations on board with this, this could be a very, very interesting direction for things to go.